Don't even dare. That dream belongs to the other nations.
What's the one story from these experiences that kept you grounded?
But your horizon is not limited with the sky anymore.
And why is this mission so important?
ISS is going to have the most multinational combinations ever so far.
Introducing Alper Gezeravci, a distinguished figure in aerospace and Turkey's first astronaut. Born in December 1979 in Silifke, Turkey, Alper is a graduate of the Air Force Academy in Istanbul and holds a master's degree from the U.S. Air Force Institute of Technology. With 21 years of service in the Turkish Air Force, Alper is an experienced F-16 pilot and has served in various capacities, including as a captain with Turkish Airlines and a Standardization Squadron Academic Wing Commander. His selection for the historic Axiom Mission 3 Ax-3 marks a significant milestone, where he'll conduct experiments for Turkey's space exploration efforts. Join us to explore the journey of Alper Gezeravci, a true pioneer in the Turkish space sector.
Alper, thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you so much for your patience and following us.
You've transitioned from a fighter pilot to an astronaut. Was there a particular moment or experience while maybe you've been sitting in a cockpit of F-16 that made you think, I want to take my journey even higher? Can you tell me about that?
That's a really interesting question, Ksenia. Actually, no. And that's a little bit including a lot from the past experience that I already carried all the way into this journey. And the turning moment, the changing moment of all our fate. I could never get inspired or dream about the future into the space while I was flying already high in an F-16 cockpit. Why? Because all my life, my dreams were limited by the sky that I could see with my bare eyes and the aircrafts that I was already flying in. When I saw anything related to the space in the documentaries, in the movies, I would always think, don't even dare. That dream belongs to the other nations, other citizens of the other nations. That's our limit, the sky. So just be content and happy with what you have. So I was happy with what I already had so far. But on the centennial of our republic, our country made a strong decision and to just open that curtain, blocking the dreams of our next generations. And they let us the chance to be able to step into the space that we have missed for so long.
Could you share some insights on the selection process?
It took about 8 months after the announcement of our president on the May in 2022. After the whole process has been completed, we learned that there has been 36,000 applications for the process. And I'm so happy and proud of my country in that manner as well. We have met really so well-educated people during this selection process. And I'm really so happy, feeling privileged and honored to meet with the strong brains and the great abilities, potential of my country's citizens. We had the chance to be able to really see and assess how much we can succeed in the future with our great potential. During this there is another fine detail about it. You know, European Union has also started an astronaut selection process within the last couple of years. And their presidents of the space agency were happily and proudly announcing that there were 22,000 people, applicants coming all over Europe for this new selection process. And I also want to congratulate them. But as a country who has never been into the space and announcing a really new mark into the future and asking for its citizens to apply for this program, we have received 36,000 applications from a single country. That's a great energy, that's a great enthusiasm into a field we have never been into. So during this 8 months long period, we have been called into Ankara and as well as Eskişehir in order to comply with all the required steps and the selection test process during this long journey up until the last announcement. We have gone through around 8 to 10 different steps of selection processes, which includes some psychological tests, physical tests, several interviews with several commissions, and going through some medical checks, very detailed. We have already been carrying out some very detailed medical checks in the aviation, in both military aviation as well as the civilian aviation that I have already been exposed to within the last 21 years. But most of our friends weren't that familiar with, going through every single discipline in a hospital to be scanned, to be, checked and everything. So it was interesting for them. And at the end, we went through some hyperbaric chamber tests as well as the G tests, centrifuge tests in Eskişehir. So by the end of the year 2022, we have been informed unofficially by the deputy head of TÜBİTAK that we were chosen, and our esteemed president announced our public in April 2023.
Could you share with me your emotions and what did you feel in that moment when you discovered that you will be one of the 2 first Turkish astronauts going on this mission?
It's a great happiness and honor, Sanya. Something we have missed for so long, something that has always limited my dream, is now coming true. And by chance, I got this honor to be able to represent my country, my flag in the space in order to be able to envision the future prospects of our next generations, young generations. And, we will put a mark over there of a journey which will make a really special start of our journey. I'm always telling that this is not a journey to a destination, this is the beginning of a journey.
You've flown numerous aircrafts and have been involved in various challenging roles in the Turkish Air Force. What's the one story from these experiences that kept you grounded?
There are several of them, both in the military aviation as well as civil aviation. I would like to, express a couple of them, including some emergencies where the people are really reflecting and expressing their anxiety and their, concerns when the things are not going on the track. So just keep in mind that these are man-made machines, and we have a strong belief into the God. So all our trainings, all our background experience is being composed in a single body in order to execute everything that is out of the order. So one of those flights, when we were having a really harsh condition, harsh emergency situation, I just made an announcement to my passengers behind. They were seeing some, flames in the aircraft. Of course, they were right to come up with some screams and, great anxiety. With a very calm voice, I told them, some of you might be seeing, especially as it is the nighttime, a flame on the left side. I just want to encourage you, this aircraft is designed to fly with a single engine as well as a single pilot. So enjoy the luxury of having 2 pilots on board, and we have a good engine to be able to come back and safe landing. Just take your time, watch the beauty of the flame, and we will be landing smoothly and safely in a little while. And after the flight, I got a really good feedback from our, cabin chief relating to this situation. That she said, I have seen for the first time such a calm and peaceful silence, and everybody was just looking at flame at that moment. So that's one of the really nice memories in my mind.
Yeah, this is truly inspiring, especially, honestly, I'm scared of flying. And sometimes I wish the pilot would be speaking to me and calming me down, just saying, Xenia, look at the sky and enjoy it. So beautiful.
Thank you.
Throughout your extensive training, was there a moment you doubted yourself, and how did you overcome it, if that was?
Thankfully, no doubt so far. No doubt, no fear, and no excitement, because we are not trying to adapt a concept, a training, or a mission on the way, Xenia. We have already completed all our mental and psychological preparations ahead of the time, ahead of the training. I was already fully motivated, fully prepared, and fully motivated to the completion of the whole, not the training, but also the mission, all the way from the beginning. If I didn't feel this way, I wouldn't apply for the program anyway.
Can you share a little bit about the Axiom 3 mission, the upcoming in the January, and why is this mission so important?
Thank you so much for asking. This is also an important question. Axiom Space is a company who democratized the access to the space. They have really worked so hard and so willingly to make the countries who are not the counterparts of the space program making them eligible to be able to access to space. So I do really respect their great effort and work to make the space available for those countries who didn't have chance to be able to be a counterpart of this program so far. So they really extend the chances for every citizen on Earth to be able to make it to the space with equal circumstances. So we are carrying out the third mission of Axiom. Our mission commander is a former, very experienced, a very wise NASA astronaut named Michael Lopez Alegria. He is an American citizen as well as Spanish citizen. He's our mission commander, and we are so lucky and happy to have him as our mission commander. My other friend is from Italy, Walter Vladej, and third friend from Sweden, but representing ESA, Marcus Wandt. We're all together, and all the way from the beginning of the mission, we have immediately created a great harmony among each other. That's interesting. All of us are coming from military backgrounds. Maybe that also has a contribution into this kind of a harmony. I mean, I remember from the very beginning of the training in SpaceX Crew Dragon mock-up in Hawthorne, California, there were times we were giving some emergency scenarios to deal with, and we didn't even speak to each other, just looking at each other and catch the meaning and the message from our eyes and immediately react. So we are so happy with this, coherence and great adaptation and harmony that was created among each other. And Axiom Space is also creating, even though it's a very professional company, I really adore and respect, but don't know how they really managed to succeed in creating this. They are creating a family environment in such a professional industry. So all of the counterparts of Axiom, all the staff working there, supporting the mission, as well as the people who have already completed their missions, are coming together and immediately acting like a family who has been all together forever. So we are creating all our experiences in a great manner, and I'm so happy to be a part of this family as well.
Yeah, and I've heard that especially this mission is going to be very diverse, as you've already mentioned the country's representatives. I believe this is a very beautiful experience that you're all coming from different backgrounds, but still like feel so connected.
With all of your interviews, as far as I could follow, you are really finding all the pinpoints. So congratulations on that. You caught another important point. And let me give you this fine detail that has not been so much shared so far.
Absolutely.
When we make it to the space in January, ISS is going to have the most multinational combinations ever so far. So there will be people from 9 different nationalities when we make it there. So that's a great combination, a real diversity, beautiful diversity of the world, coming together and cooperating with each other.
Given your love for space and physical activities on Earth, like scuba diving, sailing, camping, horseback riding, mountain hiking, what kind of sport or physical activity have you thought of you would like to try out in the zero gravity?
In zero gravity, you know, scuba diving.
Yes.
You probably must have also tried it.
No.
Okay, in scuba diving, I'm not so much. Some people are really enthusiastic in making it to deeper and deeper each time. My enthusiasm in scuba diving is just being able to dive under the water, having the natural buoyancy, and make all the maneuvers around myself without having wings. You know, in the military aircraft, we can do all the aerobatics and maneuvers that you see in the air shows. And we will allow it. So far, I had the chance to be able to do all these maneuvers, which is really exciting humankind in an aircraft and with the power under my hands. But being there under the sea, being able to do it with only, you know, my arms was another great feeling for me. Right now, I want to imitate this, like as if scuba diving, I just want to make toros, you know, making these turns around me, upside down, and all, you know, directions inside the space station. That's something that I'm looking forward to.
So we will be definitely looking for this specific video
of course,
of you on Instagram or other social media platforms. Beautiful. So can you maybe let me know, so if you could have a 5-minute conversation with a historical figure right before launching into space, who would it be and why?
I wish I could do that, because I would like to pay our tribute and gratefulness to our great leader, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. We have just carried out a congress last week in Bursa, Türkiye, and our forever motto, the future is in the sky. So I would like to just express my gratefulness to him for giving us this wisdom and being able to put this remark into the history way before most of these developments in aviation or space didn't exist back then. So I'm really grateful for his great vision and for the path that he opened for all of us into the future.
In recent years, Türkiye has made significant development regarding space. What do you think has been the driving force behind the rapid progress?
Single answer, our young generation. We have one of the youngest median age among all the European countries. We have a great energy, we have a great potential, and we are looking forward to find new fields to reflect all this energy and potential.
Space exploration often leads to innovations that benefit people on Earth. How do you think Turkey's venture into space can directly impact the daily lives of its citizens?
I totally believe that this is the initial step. This is the very beginning step of our contribution into science as well as other fields relating to for the sake of the human. So as soon as we start with this initial step, I believe that the inputs, the contribution of our scientists into every field of human life is going to be exponential. We have great minds already serving in different parts of the world. Whenever they find an opportunity to be able to reflect their great mindset, mind power, is already reflecting with the fruits of the energy that they already put forward in the fields that they are working in. However, up until now, most of those scientists didn't have a similar level, equal level of competency with their counterparts in the science world, as they didn't have the chance to be able to send their great ideas or experiments up into the skies. This is a beginning. From this moment on, as long as they have more chance to be able to compete with their counterparts in the equal circumstances, I'm sure they will be coming up with their great ideas and their new great inventions.
I know that on the upcoming mission in January, you will do 13 experiments.
Exactly.
Can you tell me about your favorite one?
I have a couple of
I can imagine
good ones that I'm really looking forward to, but I do really appreciate all of them. Just want to give one of the examples is G-Metal. It's intending to contribute into the future defense industry developments in our country, which we have already been really great within the recent years. It's intending to compose a material of fluids together with the solid material homogeneously in the microgravity circumstances. In the ground, no matter how you mix a fluid together with the solid components, by mixing it each other, at some point, because of the effect of the gravity, it's just sitting down at the material. So in the space environment, under the microgravity conditions, we are intending to carry out this experiment and see the results of minimum level of microgravity into the mixing of this material, solid material, as well as the fluid material with each other.
Thank you very much, Alper.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure interviewing you. I
Likewise.
hope you also enjoyed the conversation.
Likewise. Thanks so much for your energy.